Hey guys, it's Adam here. I hope you're all doing. Hey guys, it's Adam here. I hope you're all doing fab. So today I just wanted to talk about my experience with phalloplasty stage one in the hospital, and how did it go, what it felt like, what was my hospital, stay like, what was my pain, how were the nurses. So that's, I have spoken about this before in my first ever video, but it was far too long. It was an hour long, and I do recognize that not everyone can, have the time to watch this hour long, just to look where they can benefit, just to see where exactly am I talking about something that can benefit them. So that's why I'm kind of cutting them, making these videos again to talk about individual points in different, in individual videos. It's you just kind of pick and choose what exactly you want to hear about, and not just watch an hour long video. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna just speak about the hospital experience and my pain and all of that. But just to say that I am based in Scotland in the UK. My surgeons were the London team. The surgeon that I had my consultation with and and performed the first stage of my surgery was Dr. Nim Christopher. So I met him, I had the consultation with him, and you can watch the videos where I talk about why I chose my forearm phalloplasty, because I was speaking about my consultation with him, and as far as we're concerned, that he was my surgeon, and I spoke to him about communicating everything that I wanted, and he explained to me everything that he does with his techniques and all of that, and I was really happy with him. He's a really really good doctor. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's just really fun to speak with. But anyway, yeah. So when you communicate with the London team, I just want to say that unlike other surgeons, maybe perhaps in America, it's literally a team. It's a London team. It's not just one surgeon. There are three other surgeons aside from the three main surgeons in the London team, which perform like hysterectomy and things like that. And so when you deal, you have your consultation with one of the surgeons. But ultimately, the rest of your communications are going to be with like other people, like other nurses and just other people that organize your surgery dates and have your follow-ups with, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, when you speak with them, they're most likely going to ask you how long of a notice would you like for your surgery. And sometimes you can give them a week, you can give them like 2 3 days, or you can give them 2 weeks, you can give them a month or 2 months. In my case, it was a month, because that's just how it worked for me at the time. I needed to give a month's notice to my work, and I needed to make arrangements, travel arrangements, because I live in Scotland, so I have to like, book travel, plan my travel, book accommodations for my other half as well. And this kind of stuff. So yeah, I needed a month. So they're most likely going to ask you how long of a notice would you like. And then whenever they get a date and it matches your notice, they're just gonna get in touch with you. That is annoying me. So yeah, I was given this date, to have it in 2016. I want to say 15. So yeah, so I was given notice, the surgery notice in 2015, and my surgery was going to be mid-December, yes. And it was going to be in Slough, just outside London, or on the outskirts of London, in a private hospital, which I can't remember what it was called, but it's a really, really nice hospital, like really nice hospital. I think it might be the only private hospital in Slough. Just, yeah, maybe Google it. But yeah, so this is what it was. And they kind of send you like information. What time do you need to be here, what do you need to do, bring tests. They tell you to take a couple of tests before, with your GP or with your doctor, and send them over, see if you're healthy enough, all this kind of stuff, all this kind of thing. And if you're healthy enough and you don't have any infections or anything like that, you are good to go. And they tell you that you're most likely going to stay for 7 nights if there is no complications. Now, 7 nights, that is including the day you arrive on, which you won't have any surgery. So in my case, I arrived on Saturday night. They tell you to arrive at 6 p.m., but I arrived about 8 p.m. and I suppose that was a good time to arrive at. I don't really see the point of arriving too early because all you need to do is just speak with the nurse for like half an hour. They will take also a couple of more tests just to make sure that you're clean and good to go. Um, and yeah, you're not really gonna do much else. So yeah, there's no really point to arrive too early for me anyway. I don't know about you. You might like to arrive early, but for me, I wanted to eat my dinner outside and didn't show up. But if you show up there, you can get your dinner there, I think. And I was just like eating my dinner outside. Anyway, so yeah, so I arrived. I was taken to my room, and my room was really really good, like really good. I mean, neutral colors. It was white, but it was like warm colors. It looked really nice. You have your TV, you have a comfortable bed. You have your side cabinet where you like put your stuff, and you have also a locker and a wardrobe. The locker is with a key, so you can keep your stuff, lock your important, valuable stuff in the locker when you go to surgery and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And you also have your personal bathroom. So it is in your room, the bathroom you've got, and the bathroom has got like a bathtub and all the normal stuff. And that was really really cool. I really like this hospital. It was actually one of the best hospitals that I've had surgery with, because my other two stages were actually in different hospitals. So yeah, so for this one, I arrived, I took a test, everything was done. I woke up early in the morning, I think about 6 a.m., half 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm not sure. And I was asked to shower, and I was given a cream to put on, to wash my hair with, to put on my nostrils, and to put on my groin. And that's just to kind of prevent infections in case I had them, in case I had anything, just to make sure, you just really like to prep you and make sure that you're okay before you go to surgery, because this surgery is one of the biggest surgeries that you will go through. It's a long big surgery, and depending on the surgeon, so this is actually something important to talk about, because with other surgeons, in the first stage you have your main kind of phalloplasty, where they take the graft from any site from your body, not just forearm, but they take the graft, and they also do other things like can do hysterectomy and vaginectomy, and can link up your urethra to pee, so you can pee from the penis, and they can do all of this in one stage. But in the London, with the London team, they don't do that. You have it on 3 stages rather than 2, and the 3 stages are: number 1, phalloplasty, which is only taking the graft and shaping the penis. That's it. That's all you need to do. And although the idea of having, to me anyway, although the idea of having like only 2 stages, I think it would have been like, you know, super helpful, I think, because less surgeries the better. I hated having surgeries, so the less better. And then when you have surgery, you're miserable, and you're not moving, and you're tired and sore anyway, so I might as well have it all in the one go. But I don't think they work this kind of way, and I think it's to reduce the chances of complications and infections. So yeah, I've gone through it, and I'm happy with what I've done. So yeah, arrived in the hospital, woke up, done all this shower stuff, and then I was taken in a room. Actually, first, the surgeon, Dr. Nim Christopher, visited me in my room, just to talk how I am, how he is, just to, kind of repeat everything very briefly that, that is going to happen during the surgery, and, tell me about the risks, and, the complications, and, all this kind of stuff. And you sign a form, and that's you. They take you to a room where they kind of doze you off, and you will have this cold, icy anesthesia thing, anesthetics. Yeah, you will have them, and they'll be connected to your arm. Not actually the arm that you're gonna have surgery on if you're having a forearm phalloplasty. So it'll be the other arm, and they will connect it and connect the stuff through, and it will feel really really cold. Like you'll feel like something inside your veins going through, and it's really really cold. And you just feel it, bam, you're out. It's really fast. I didn't expect it to be that fast. You just have it in, you'll be like, oh, that's really cool. That is strangely really, you're gone. Which is good, I suppose. You don't need to think so much. before his surgery. So yeah, that's good, I think. Um, yes, I was in, I think, um, I was dozed off about 8 a.m. in the morning, and I think I didn't open my eyes until I didn't, become conscious until 6 p.m. So that's like 10 hours. I think, some time is taken to shave you and everything. So when it comes to shaving down there, or anywhere really, any site that they're using, anything that they're using at all, you don't have to shave anything. Everything is shaved for you when you're unconscious, which is super to me, to be honest, because it's not something that I like to do. And yeah, I was just, it's an invasive surgery anyway, so they might as well do it for me. So yeah. So it's a long surgery, it is a big surgery, but yeah, are my first memories of opening my eyes. I was in a room and it seemed like it was a busy room. Um, I had like two nurses around me trying to kind of like faff about and, run quickly and, connect things to me and and I think there was another person that just came out of this of surgery as well, and they were kind of going through that. So I think it's the kind of room where people come out of surgery and get prepared to go back into the other room. So I personally call it the transitioning room. So I was in this transitioning room, and I had the two nurses, but it became one nurse like a minute or two later, and I was in overwhelming pain. Like I woke up and I was just pain, like pain everywhere. And it wasn't really everywhere. I think it was mainly in my back and my butt. I had obviously felt pain elsewhere as well, but that was my main concern. And I was like, I'm really in a lot of pain, all of that. But as I was saying that, I started to seizure, and it's not really like, I'm not sure if using the word seizure is the right one, because it wasn't really a technical seizure, but it was my body was shaking uncontrollably, very, very vigorously and aggressively and rapidly. It was just every inch of my body was shaking uncontrollably, and it was hurting me even more because I had a lot of things going on. I had my arm being in the air like that, just been operated on. I had my groin and I had my butt because they took the second graft from my butt to cover my arm. So I had like, a lot of things going on, and I was in pain. I didn't have a lot of, not painkillers didn't kick in yet. So that shaking was horrible. But then I can hear my surgeon, which came a minute or two later, and said, "Oh, that's the shaking. That's just a normal side effect, a common side effect of anesthesia. Is anesthesia anesthetics? I'm really having a hard time remembering now. Anyway, I guess you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was a common side effect, and it happened like 2 or 3 times. I wasn't really happy about that. But anyway, between those kind of seizures, I was telling the nurse, I am in a lot of pain. Normally, like, I tolerate pain really, really well, but I just couldn't tolerate what was happening there. And I kept telling her, I'm in a lot of pain. Please, do something. And she was like, okay, okay, I promise I am, I'm connecting things to your arm, and I'm going to connect the morphine tube now to your arm, so you can pump it and you'll feel better. She also gave me tablets, and she was like, just wait and it will all help and it will be fine. I was like, right, right, okay. And then I, waiting patiently, and then finally this tube of morphine was connected, and they kind of give you like a button. And this button, well, you can click on it as many times as you can, but it won't pump more than once within 1 minute. So it will only pump once every minute if you click on it every minute. So yeah, I was just like clicking away every minute, clicking away, trying to get this dose, pumped in. And I think it got like maybe 10 minutes, 15 maybe minutes later, I was like, oh dude, I'm still in a lot of pain. He gave me tablets, he gave me the morphine. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling anything. Well, I'm feeling pain, but I'm not feeling the painkillers. She was like, oh, I don't know why, you just have to wait until they kick in. I don't know why. And then I think a minute or two later, she was like, oh my God, I haven't connected your bed. So you're meant to be on a you're put on a specialized bed which can move parts of it. You can move parts of it according to your comfort and personal preference to put less pressure on certain areas. So for example, the head of the bed where your head is on, that can move up and down, and you get the middle of the bed which can kind of like, it can be flat like that and then it can go like that, and it's just mainly to put less pressure on your butt and put pressure elsewhere, so you're not putting all of your weight on your butt, because when you sit, all of your weight is on your butt. But if you use this kind of, if you elevate it like that, then your butt is kind of hanging on here and you're putting most of your weight on your back. And then you get the last part of the bed, which is where your legs are, and it can go up and down. So that bed wasn't on. So that explains why when I was taking so many painkillers, taking so many painkillers but nothing worked, because my entire body weight was on my butt and my butt had staples on. So that's why I was in a lot of pain. That pain was shooting into my back. It was just making everything horrible. So yeah, she turned the bed on and voila, pain was gone. I was comfy, and my experience really was a lot better from that point on. So if that does happen to you, just don't wait as long as me. Maybe ask in the first 5 minutes, because I would have asked in the first minute if I knew about it, and asked, is my bed on? Because that will save you a lot of pain, and I really really mean it. So yeah, fast forward to them taking me to intensive care. So with your first stage, you go to intensive care and you are heavy monitored for the first 24 hours. So yeah, they get you to this, room where you are connected to many screens, many tubes in your arms, um, and a nurse will try and make you very very comfortable, and they will check on you, or maybe check on your penis every hour. So creating this phallus, and if you don't understand how the phallus is created and how all of it works, I suggest you watch one of the videos I'm talking about what is phalloplasty, because it will explain a hell of a lot of stuff for you. But anyway, if you do now, then stick with me here. If you do know, so when the fast is connected, and that's like a really newly established blood supply, new blood kind of path, so they need to make sure that that the blood keeps pumping to your penis, because if it stops pumping to your penis will die and rotten, and might spread somewhere else in your body. So it's really really bad. It was just, well, it would require another surgery, immediate surgery, and it will cause complications. So that's why you're every hour on the dot, and I really kid you not, every hour on the dot, a nurse will come in and it will try to listen for the heartbeat of your penis. Just basically putting that thing, can't remember what it's called, but put this thing on your it's not like the thing that doctors have. No, it's another kind of device which you put on your penis, and it will allow you to hear the the heartbeats of the blood pumping. Because heartbeat basically means that blood is pumping, and that's what makes the noise. So that's why you understand why I'm saying heartbeat and the penis. It's just listening for this blood pumping. And thankfully, my everything was pumping great for the first 24 hours. But just I'm not gonna fast forward to that. Just first to say that when I came out of surgery, I was feeling very 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 tired. I felt like haven't slept for a very long time, and that's understandable. I didn't really understand that at the time, but I understand it now, because being dozed off, not naturally, because I was dozed off on a chemical, that's not actually same as sleep. That's, as far as your brain concerned, you were kind of awake, like in terms of proper rest. So, and you obviously just gone through a major surgery, and your body's like being traumatized, and it's trying to be like, oh, what's going on? What's happening with you, dude? And your body will probably try to fix you up and do things, you know. Um, so I was feeling very, very tired. Also, I was very, very dehydrated. Like my mouth was very dry, very, very dry, and I couldn't drink water. Water made me really, really sick. And but actually the hydration was really painful to me, really, really painful. I just wanted some water, and it hurt me that I couldn't drink water. But I mean, finally, maybe an hour or two, I think either my partner or the nurse suggested ice chips, and that really, really helped. So if you do feel this extreme dehydration, ask for ice chips straight away. It took a couple hours for me to get ice chips because I didn't know about them. But now you do, and if you do go through this, ask for ice chips because they will, make a lot of difference to you. Really, genuinely, make a lot of difference. Um, but yeah, so just it's fair to say that my night was quite peaceful. I just was falling asleep because I was really tired, and I would be awakened by the nurse coming in every hour to check on the phallus. But yeah, fast forward to the next day, I got up, I was given breakfast. I was happy to be given breakfast. I was really, really hungry, and I had a good appetite and enjoyed my food. I was feeling very, very a lot better. Um, I was then moved to, actually, I was moved to the other room, my original room, where the room that I arrived at the first day and kept my stuff in. So you're gonna be moved back the next day to that, um, if everything goes well. You move back to your room, and yeah, you get your breakfast, and you will be disconnected from a lot of screens that were in the intensive room. You're just gonna arrive with some, like, the basic stuff, the basic tube that's connected to your blood in case they want to inject anything to you, and there's another one which is the morphine. You'll have a catheter in your groin and a catheter in your side. um, and your phallus will be patched up with a lot of bandages, so you're not really going to see a lot there. You're not going to have a lot of access. You're not going to see it. And your arm is going to be like covered, put in a cylinder. I'm really terrible with words today. Anyway, just, yeah, covered and put up, hanged up right now like that, and it will have to stay this way for a good few days. It's not allowed to be go down at all. But yeah, anyway, I was given food. I was having a really good day. I was drinking loads of water. I was happy, smiling, great mood. I was eating a lot. I was hungry. Um, I just had a really good, it was a really good first day. Then comes the second day. I was still feeling good. I was still eating. The idea of going to the bathroom did cross my mind. That I felt like I'm a little bit backed up maybe. So I was like, I feel like it could happen, and I was really concerned about that because obviously you're not allowed to move for a few days. So if you need to go, you'll have to do it in a pan, and that was a big no-no to me. I was like, no way, Jose, I'm not doing that. So but anyway, it didn't happen. I was constipated, but it didn't happen. Anyway, it didn't really bother me that much. The second day, which was Monday, yeah, I'm saying second day post-op. So second day post-op, and then third day, that would be Tuesday. Yeah, that would be Tuesday. um and I was kind of starting to feel a little bit down. I was just feeling, a bit bluish. My tummy was hurting a little bit, but not in a usual sense. It was just hurting because it was, had loads on. I think I just haven't been to the bathroom for a few days. And yeah, that was just aching. Also, I was feeling unclean. So every day in the hospital in the morning, a nurse will come in and they will clean you, but they will clean you in a sense that they're gonna use big baby wipes, big baby wipes, but big versions of that. And they're just gonna come and they're gonna wash your armpits, your chest, your groin, your butt, your legs. It's really awkward. It's slightly invasive, but they really always mean well. Like, nurses are going to save your life, and I'm going to speak about that later. But yeah, um, they want what's best for you, and they want to make you feel comfy. And trust me, when you're gonna get so stinky, you're not gonna care. You just want to get clean. But unfortunately, using baby wipes is not really a good way to get cleaned because it will make you feel fresh for a little while, an hour maybe. for me anyway. But then I would start to feel stinky again, and I really needed a shower. But again, you're not allowed to move at all for a few days, so that was not possible. So yeah, talking about this third day was just things, I was starting to feel not clean. I was, you know, I wanted to eat, but I couldn't eat as much as I want to because of my tummy. I was feeling a little bit down, but I was, I was saying tomorrow's the day, Wednesday is the day, because they said that the fourth day I can, I will be able to get up, walk, and shower, and go to the toilet. So I was putting a lot of hopes on that day, the fourth day, that would be the day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I am calculating something wrong here. Was it the fifth day? So, no, Sunday is when I had my surgery. Yes, Sunday is when I had my surgery. I arrived on Saturday. Just put my head straight there. I arrived on Saturday. I had my thingy on Sunday, right? So my surgery was on Sunday. Monday is the day that I felt really good. I was eating a lot. Tuesday is the day I felt slightly bad, not clean, constipated, but I was putting a lot of hopes on Wednesday because they said that the fourth day I'd be able to get up, shower, walk, do all this kind of stuff. And I was like, it's just only, it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna feel better tomorrow. And comes Wednesday in the morning, early in the morning, I was like, I ate my breakfast. I was like, I'm ready. Can you please just, take the catheter off, and can I walk? And the nurse was like, no, it's too early. You're not allowed to walk today. And I was like, what are you talking about? You told me that the fourth day I'm gonna, I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna do stuff. And she was like, no, fourth day, not counting surgery day. So in my head, surgery day was a day to me. It was a day. To me it was. I spent half of it conscious. um, so I counted my surgery day, but they don't count surgery day. So it turned out that I had to wait another day. And boy, I didn't really like hearing that because I was reaching my patience, the end of my patience. I was starting to feel down, and this kind of made me feel a lot worse. I genuinely just couldn't stand how I felt. Have my hair, I had shorter hair, but still I couldn't understand. I couldn't, take this stinkiness. I'm not used to it. I was tired of. I was tired sleeping and sitting in the same position all day for days because you can't sleep on your side. You're not allowed to move. You are in the same position all day, every day, and I can't eat anymore. At this point, I wasn't able to eat. I mean, I did eat breakfast, which was like yoga or something like that, but I wasn't able to really eat a lot, proper food. Um, and I was hungry. I can tell I'm hungry, but my tummy's just, refusing to eat. So it's fair to say that this day was the hardest for me. It was the worst day for me because I just doubted all my choices. I doubted everything that I've done. I was feeling really sorry for myself. I got really, really, really depressed that day. Um, yeah, and I've doubted everything, and I was like, what have I done to myself? Why am I doing, why have I done this to myself? And you know what? It's natural to kind of go in this kind of, roller coaster of feeling great and feeling bad and scared, and I think it's healthy. um I think for me that was really shocking for me because I didn't know any of this. Back in 2015, no one talked about this. I didn't know. Maybe guys now are talking about this kind of thing, but before, no one was talking about what do you expect, what pain, how does your surgery stay go, what is it, feel, what happens on a day-to-day basis. No one told me what to expect, and it was mentally challenging. And I think what I expected was the physical challenge, the pain. I was very prepared for the pain, for the physical pain, but I was not prepared for the mental challenge. And I think if I was told that at the start, I think I would have maybe handled that a little bit better. But nevertheless, even though I doubted all my choices and everything that day, it was natural because I was having a bad day. I am really pleased that I've gone through it. It was one of the best decisions I have ever done. So anyway, back to the story. I couldn't eat that day. So what I have done is that I have asked my partner to go and buy fruit, loads of fruit for me. But not just any fruit, but I'm talking about really juicy kind of watery fruit, like oranges and apples and peaches and watermelons, things that have a lot of juice. Because if you happen to feel what I felt, kind of hard dry food is just gonna feel horrible in your tummy and in your mouth, and that would be the case. And I think you might feel this kind of thing. I think you will. And even if you don't, eating fruit, in a time like this is really necessary because your body's like, you know just lost a lot of blood, lost a lot of nutrition in a day. So eat a lot of fruit. I really recommend that you go in with a lot of fruit. Don't just wait until you feel bad to need fruit. Go in with a lot of fruit. You want to trust me. You will thank me. Don't buy bananas and stuff like that. Buy fruity stuff. Um, Although I love bananas, but it's not the right time for bananas. So yeah. Anyway, so I've went through this horrible day, which felt like forever. To me, it wasn't just a day; it felt like forever. Um, then comes the day after where I was like, right, okay, you told me now it's gonna be today. And one of the nurses was the same nurse actually that told me that I couldn't do it the day before, told me, well, I think it's too early for you. I think it's too early to walk. I think you should wait another day. I'm like, no, no. And I've put my foot down. Seriously, I was like, no. You told me it was going to be 4 days post-op, and here I am. That's fourth day. You told me yesterday is gonna be today. I'm not delaying this any longer, not even for another moment. I want everything to be taken off now. I want to walk. I was really angry. I was enough. I felt like, it's when you're having doctors and nurses take care of you, they know better. But sometimes you know better. It's your body, you know what you feel, and I know what I felt. I was ready to walk. I needed to walk. My body was aching all over from sitting, lying down for so long. If you're active, and you're blessed to be active, this is gonna feel extremely strange to you, and your body as well. Lying down for a long time is actually damaging to the body. There's a lot of research that says that even if you've got a big injury, you are still advised to not spend more than 3 days in bed. So I was like, this is more than enough for me. I am gonna walk today. And I kind of got a bit, cheeky and a bit angry, and it did happen. Um, so yeah, you will have your one of your catheters out, and that will be the catheter from your groin, and they would leave the other catheter in your side. You will have um, uh, morphine actually gets connected on the second day, so you're no longer using morphine after the first 2 days. Um, so yeah, you'll just go on pills. So that was already disconnected a couple of days before that. Um, so yeah, I was being helped to get to, because I was lying down all the time. I was never standing like this 90 degrees position. Never was doing that. So I was being helped to, get up, because remember, you only have one hand. This arm is that. And so they will take it down, and you will have like a thing to put around your neck, so you can hold it like that, and they will help you kind of get up, switch around your legs, to touch the floor, and you'll sit on the side of the bed, and you'll get up. I did get up, and I took one step, and in a moment time, I felt a sudden shiver in my spine and cold, and I sweated so much in a second. Really, it was just like something just kind of hit my body, and I felt dizzy and double vision, and I've got this thing in my spine, and I sweated, and I had to sit down. I couldn't walk. And she was like, oh, see, I told you it was too early. And I'm like, No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I've been sitting down for a few days. I mean, it's only natural to have this, right? I was still determined I was gonna walk, and then I stood again and tried to walk, but I started to notice that my arm, even though it was still like this, and most of the weight was on my um, neck, I was still feeling how heavy it is. I felt like it was weighing me down. So I was sat down straight away before I even continue. And I said, I feel like my arm is too heavy. So see, when you have the surgery, right now, your arm is part of your body. It's just light as a feather. You just don't feel it. But when that happens, you it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be really, really heavy, like really heavy. And I can't really describe to you how heavy it will be, but it'll be like a part of your body that's just extremely heavy to hold. And because I was weak, having gone through the surgery and been lying down for a long time, I was extremely weak for my first get up, to hold it by myself. So I asked the nurse, can you please hold it for me? So I don't have to worry about it. And then I just can worry about getting up and walking. And she was like, all right, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then, so yeah, I just took this thing off. I gave her my arm and she held it. Um, and I got up and I walked and it was fine. I walked. So when the other nurse was talking about how like trans guys couldn't get up and do it on the fourth day, I understand because that almost happened to me, and I think that's because of the arm. So if that happens to you, just ask someone to hold the arm for you, because when that happens, all you're gonna focus on is just you walking, and that's it. You're not focusing on a really heavy weight. So yeah, I've walked and I was really happy. I was like zooming away. Well, not zooming away, but I was walking. Um, yeah, I was really excited. I was like a kid learning how to walk for the first time. It was just amazing. You take your limbs and you take your fitness and your body for granted, but when you lose the simple things like your arm or the mobility of day-to-day life, you really kind of appreciate it when you get it back. Um, so yeah, that happened. And then I was prepared to go for a shower. So I was taking the shower, and it's a big shower room. It's not, the shower room in your room. It's just another different room, and there is a chair, there is a hose where you shower, you get the water from, and you sit down. You have your arm out, out of the way, out of the water, because it's not meant to get wet, and you have two nurses washing you and getting you clean. Now, this is a really kind of, an awkward experience, I think it was for me, because back in 2015, I was really dysphoric. Um, so, they do need to kind of, like, you're naked, you're butt naked sitting on a chair, and they just need to get between your thighs, they need to get in your butt, they need to clean all the blood and all the stuff that you've had after surgery. But do have in mind that they really want what's best for you, like really want what's best for you. So it's nothing personal, and I think also at the time I was feeling shit about myself, about how about my body and how unclean I was. um so I kind of at the same time I was like, oh, who cares, I'm getting clean. um and you just sometimes gotta pick your battles, and it'll just last for a few minutes and it's over. And yeah, it was over, I was done, I was showered, I was clean, and I loved it. Like, my self-esteem just completely went back up, because being unclean for such a long time did really affect my self-esteem. So yeah, after that, really my experience was very, really positive. I walked back to the room from the shower. I had the help, I had still the nurse, one of the nurses holding my arm. Um, but I sat down because I got a little bit tired from all this walking. It's literally just a few feet away. Um, but yeah, I think I sat down and had a bit of food. I still wasn't able to really eat because I haven't been to the toilet yet. So that was kind of my next mission. I needed to go to the toilet. That was really my main concern. So I was drinking a lot of coffees, a lot of teas. I asked for some relaxatives, and it finally, it finally happened. And I went to the toilet all by myself. My own toilet in a room, and it happened. It took a long time. I think maybe it took me like half an hour, 45 minutes in the bathroom. It's it's a strange sensation, and also my first pee was really kind of slightly uncomfortable. But yeah, I just did it. I was happy. I was really just not focused on the pain as much. I was just focused on getting the mission done and feel better about my body, and eat because I was really hungry. So yeah, it happened. I was really happy now. I was like very content. I've showered, I've walked, I've been to the bathrooms, I was eating. I think I napped a little bit because I was tired, and then I woke up and and then I went for a walk, and this time I was completely by my own. And it was fine. It was fine for me to hold my own arm at this point because I've napped, I've got used to the walking now, my body tried it, and I know what it's like. So, I just needed to get over the first walk, but once you do it, then, it's just easy. So, yeah, I was really walking by myself. Sometimes I'll be holding the wall, walking beside the wall just in case, I get tired or anything. I just can kind of hold it and rest. Um, but yeah, I think from this point on, I was just every couple of hours, I will go out and walk for 5 minutes or something. It doesn't have to be for pure long. It's just only for a few minutes. Go until the end of the corridor and come back. It's not, but it's really important. I think I'm always really, especially at the time, I was really aware of how much damage lying down for a long time can do to the body, because I've read extensively about it. So I was really keen to kind of keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, get my body ready for leaving. Because when I leave, I had a big trip to go back to Scotland. So I knew that I was gonna walk a lot and yeah, do a lot of things. So I needed to prepare myself to feel. I wanted to be normal, feel like like before by the time I leave. So that was when I was doing. And just to say that, because I just realized that I never really spoke about my arm. What happened when I woke up, because like I think I said in previous videos when I was speaking about why I chose my forearm, I was really scared losing my arm. I think it's a silly fear, but it's not really silly fear, but it's a fear, and it's actually quite rare. But I just was, these things go in your head. So I remember when I woke up in this transitioning room, and when my seizures, those type of movements stopped, and my pain was controlled, I suddenly was aware of my arm. Oh my God, my arm isn't working. Can I feel it? And so the way it happened, it's covered, like it's from here to your elbow. It's all covered. You can't really see anything. So all I can see were my fingers, and my fingers were kind of like crunched up like that. They were like looking really awkward and weird. They were like that, something like that. Um, and that when I woke up, I couldn't really stretch them. I couldn't do anything. But all I wanted to do, that was expected, but all I wanted to do is just feel my fingers. Can I feel my fingers? And I think it took me maybe a few seconds to kind of have this body mind connection of, I am trying, because it's just been operated on, it's kind of numb, you can't really feel it straight away. It's not like that, you can't feel it. So I had to kind of have this body mind connection. I'm trying to move my finger, and I moved it ever so slightly. I think it was like something like that. It was something really subtle. But when I did it, I was really relieved, that I can feel my fingers, and I knew that the rest would come, that would get better. I knew that. But also, like, from that moment on in an intensive care room, and when I got back to my room, I was constantly trying to move my fingers, and slowly but surely I was moving my fingers more. I was kind of doing that more. I was doing that more. Just doing that because I wanted to strengthen this mind-body connection again, to tell my body, we still want to use this arm. It's not gone away. So I really recommend that you do this, because I think it helped a lot in my my recovery and the, you know, the flexibility and everything that I have right now, which is normal. But I think it's about the first day after your surgery, or the second day, you get a physiotherapist, and they basically just advise you, you know, to move your fingers as often as you can, really, which I was doing before they told me, but they just kind of confirmed that it was really important to keep, you know, keep stretching and keep moving your fingers as often as you can. Watch TV and just do that while you're watching TV. You're not really wasting any special time on it. But they will also advise you on stretching your legs, because when you have any surgery and you lie down for a long time, you are at risk to have blood clots. And obviously blood clots are really bad because they can travel to your heart and cause a lot of problems. You do have a device wrapped around your legs to kind of like keep pumping blood in your legs. Um, so it's not all still, but you are still advised to stretch your toes, stretch your legs from your knees down, and just try to move them as much as you can, to move your toes as much as you can, your ankles stretch as often as possible. And since they told me that, I was just stretching all the time. Again, I wanted to have this mind body connection, and I wanted to have the blood flowing naturally, as well as this device. I wanted to flow naturally, so I was stretching and, you know, moving my toes and my ankles and everything all the time. All the time is something that was really important to me, and I did it all the time. And I guess it all kind of helped when I was starting to move, then walk for the first time. It really helped. So yeah, this is just the point that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I've gone to the toilet. I started walking on my own, and I've showered. I was feeling really great and positive about the entire experience. I was eating really well. And I think nothing really specifically to mention after that, except for the last day when they were removing the bandages on my arm, and I was about to see my arm for the first time. So when they removed the bandages, they advised that it was going to be jet black, and I shouldn't be alarmed. This is how it normally looks, and they weren't kidding. It looked black, jet black. It looked really horrible, and it wasn't definitely a nice thing to see. But I was assured that this is normal, and all comes back to normal after a while. Well, as normal as it gets anyway. It's a graft, but. And that was really true, because all this blackness and things, they improved, obviously. Um, so yeah, I was that the bandages were changed. They gave me more bandages and said, you have to go to your nurse every week, because you need to change this on a weekly basis. And they showed me how, but they said you don't really need to be too concerned about it, because your nurse is going to do everything for you, and they can call us and ask for things, and that's it. So next day I was leaving, and so next day I was preparing to leave early in the morning. I was really, really lucky to grab a joggers, really stretchy joggers, because when you leave, a you're going to have, so your penis, which I guess I haven't talked about either. When I looked at it, it was it was really swelled up. It looked a lot bigger than it is right now, and I was like, "Hooray! It looks really great." But it does come down in size a little bit, because it was just swelled up. Um, so yeah, and when you leave, you're gonna be given instructions, because this is gonna be something that you're going to take care of yourself with no nurses. And you just need to position the penis in a 45-degree, so it's not like that. It's not down. You need to have up to reduce the swelling. So it was like kind of slightly up like that, and you need to have like loads of bandages to keep it like elevated, like so. And this elevation thing is actually quite tricky to have it this way, and they'll give you like hospital pants to put on to kind of like keep everything in position and everything. So I was shown that I couldn't feel anything. There was no sensations whatsoever on my penis. But I wasn't too concerned. I just had surgery, so it's fine. Um, I did have the catheter in my side, which was removed. the stent in the penis itself was left, and it was to be removed 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later. Um, and that was everything that I was leaving with. Yeah, I was peeing from my normal like pee hole, and that was fine. Um, and yeah, I was prepared to leave, and thankfully, because of this, when you position your penis in this 45-degree, it will look like you have a massive bulge. You cannot fit in your normal jeans. You cannot fit in a normal chinos. You're gonna need to have joggers that kind of stretch around the groin. And I will advise you to have a coat. Thankfully, when I had my surgery, it was in December, so I did have a coat with me. If you are having it in the summer, I would really still advise that you have a coat with you, because it will look like you have a hard on. Like, I am not even kidding. It would look like you have a hard on, because the way the bandages and your penis is positioned, it would just look like a triangle in your pants, and that would look like, you have a hard on, you know. And I didn't really fancy walking in the middle of London with what it looks like a hard on, because no one knows that you just had surgery. It just looks like you have a hard on. So thankfully, I did have a coat which covered it all up. So if you have it in the summer, take a coat. Really, you'll thank me. I think you will thank me, especially if you have it in London. You need to walk around and everything. Um, but yeah, so this is my hospital experience. It definitely had its ups and downs, but overall I think it was positive. I had no complications. Nurses took care of me extremely well. I mean, they were the best nurses I have ever came across, really. I built a relationship with them in that hospital. They were just really nice to me. They would come and check on me, and they would like stay for an extra 10 minutes just making random conversations with me. They were all super nice, honestly. Like, I bought them like loads of chocolates at the end, because I felt like they were just awesome. Like, really made my stay, I think, a lot more comfortable, because if they weren't that nice, I think my experience would have been a little bit harder. But it's just they were really sensitive and considerate, and just took everything I felt into considerations. I did have one problem with one nurse, which I think the fourth day I ended up asking not to have her coming around and doing anything with me. It was just causing me a little bit stress. I didn't like the way they've handled me. They were a bit rough. Um, I was just in a really vulnerable position. I'm not really this kind of type of guy to single someone out, and I've never done it before, and I've never done it afterwards. But I guess at the time it was just a matter of, I need to put myself first, and I was feeling vulnerable, and I needed someone that just levels with me on what I'm feeling. So I had to do it. I felt bad about it, I really did, but I really needed to do what was best for me at the time. But anyway, that was my hospital experience. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. Yeah, but I hope that was really helpful to you. I hope it does give you insight to know what to expect when you have your surgery, because I think it is mentally challenging. And if you have this in your head that you just don't need to prepare only for physical pain, but only need to but also you need to prepare for mental challenges, then hopefully that's going to help you cope a little bit better but what's coming. But all in all, I have no regrets. I have no regrets with all my surgeries, even though I've had many challenges. I have no regrets. It was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I am so much happier now, and I love what I have. It's all good, man. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see. Well, I won't see you, but I will see me in another video.